Okay, please forgive me for what we are about to do. This is probably the biggest cop-out of content I've ever done in my life. Welcome to Mojo Mondays, where I am going to pick a Watch Mojo video and I am probably going to sit here and disagree with them. Content. And forgive me for what we are about to react to today, because what I have found is... I just literally searched Watch Mojo Final Fantasy and saw this from 3 months ago, which I feel like deserves a reaction. I have, opinions and stuff on the attractiveness of women from Final Fantasy. I mean, is it? Is it just women? Yeah, no, it's just top 10 sexiest characters. So I can guarantee Tifa is going to be on that list. And male-wise, Balthea. I can genuinely see Balthea being on the list in some way, shape, or form, in form of male characters. If Sid from FF14 isn't on there, then I am going to be one disappointed llama. Sid Van Garland is it's just sex on legs, isn't he, really? Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Spoilers. I'm sorry, spoilers on the sexual ambiguity of characters. Fair.
Squall Leonhardt, Final Fantasy VIII.
We'll send you packing in no time.
Okay, Squall is a favorite of mine. I've cosplayed Squall Lionheart in the past, and yeah, Squall genuinely, he is sexy, isn't he? He's a bit of a pretty boy, so I'm with them on Squall. I probably would have put Squall higher up the list, maybe top 5. So seeing Squall right at the beginning at number 10. Little bit disappointing, not gonna lie. They're putting his sexiness based on his fur-lined jacket. For me, it's the hair, it's the scar, it's the stoic face. Like, Squall is a typical 90s pretty boy. That's the only way I could describe Squall. They didn't they?
Final Fantasy XIII. The world of Final Fantasy already had a wealth of established lore and characters by the time the 13th installment dropped in 2009. This didn't mean...
Now, I had to think about this, but like, if I personally was making a list like this myself, which I wouldn't do because I'm not a depraved sexual deviant, I wouldn't put Lightning on the list. She's alright. My favourite thing about Lightning, like my literal favourite thing about Lightning, is she does have a very sexy voice. So, big up to Lightning's voice actress. But no, I'm not a fan. Like, she is... I know it's a meme and it's an overdone joke, but she is a female Cloud, and I'm just not into that. I'm into male Cloud. There, I said it.
Her sex appeal has remained a constant from her very first appearance on through sequels like Final Fantasy XIII-2 and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII.
The Lightning Returns outfit is just too much, to be honest. Like, a 13 outfit was pretty skimpy. A 13-2 outfit was pretty skimpy, but like in like a kind of like warrior kind of way. And it's almost like in 13-3, they were just like, let's get rid of most of her clothes. That's what we need.
Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII.
Oof.
They say that everybody likes a bad boy, and if that's true, then Sephiroth is the baddest of them all. This antagonist from the fan-favorite Final Fantasy VII not only has understandable motives for his madness, but a brooding sex appeal that makes him kinda irresistible. Oh, we know he's bad for us. He just can't keep away when he flips that incredible hair or pushes us to the limit during a boss fight.
with Sephiroth. It's the long hair, it's the trench coat, it's the voice. Seeing him at number 7 is an insult. Like, Sephiroth is definitely top 5 material. It should be like 2 or 3. Oh, love me some Sephiroth.
Ash, Final Fantasy 12.
No, fuck off. Just now. It's this face. I'm sorry. Like, I find the characters... I just don't like character designs in 12, okay? Balthier and Fran being the exception. Ash, she winds me the hell up. Look at that face. Look at that face. That's all I've got to say about the subject. Her outfit is shocking. She's a bland, boring character like so many of the others in 12. I just don't like her. To see her above Sephiroth, Mojoplays, get your shit together.
Ash is just the total package, and anyone from the Final Fantasy universe would be lucky to spend any time.
I love that we're talking about Ash, but you're clearly showing footage of Fran, and you're showing footage of Fran from behind. Like, you wanted to put Fran on here, didn't you? You wanted to put Fran, but you wanted to be different. That's it.
Time with her whatsoever. Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy 7.
It's over!
That's my line.
In the world of Final Fantasy, having good hair...
Like, Cloud is iconic. You kind of, if you're doing a list of attractive Final Fantasy characters, yeah, you have to have Cloud on the list. I would have had Cloud before Sephiroth and maybe even before Squall. But that's not to say I don't like Cloud. Like I say, iconic Final Fantasy pretty boy right there. Bottom line is, yeah, Cloud's good. Cloud deserves a spot on the list. Cloud shouldn't have been this high.
Cindy Orem, Final Fantasy 15.
Y'all ain't never been out this way before, have you? Go on.
I feel like it is pure cheating putting Cindy on the list. Like, weird. Cindy was made to be pure sex appeal. That is literally her entire function in FF15. And she's just there to have big boobs on display and this cute accent, and that's literally her entire purpose. Do I agree that she should be on a list like this? I suppose so, but maybe higher up.
Go on, have a look around. This'll make sure y'all don't get lost.
We've made it a point to mention how balanced so many of the Final Fantasy characters are when it comes to their physical appeal and their multifaceted personalities. And this is certainly
Multifaceted
also true
personality.
for our next pick, Cindy Orem from Final Fantasy 15. This granddaughter of Sid Sophiar is a talented mechanic, but we can barely concentrate on anything when she shows up, because Cindy's sex appeal is just off the charts.
I love that. So they basically say, like, oh, Cindy is a multifaceted character with lots of levels of personality, but we can't concentrate on that because boobs are on display. This is a list about sexy video game characters. Don't try and hide the fact that you're a lecherous pervert by being like, oh, this character's got good personality. I can see Cindy's good personality. It is right here, right there, right there. Blah, 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 blah.
There's just no way around it. Balthier is...
I know I said earlier that, yeah, I was expecting Balthier on the list, and out of all the 12 characters, he is one that I would accept to see on here. But I'm just realizing now, like, all the Final Fantasy 12 character designs suffer from this, like, this face disorder, where they look like they've been smacked straight in the face with a shovel. I don't know why. That was a bad development point. Why did we do this?
is a scoundrel. But what a dashing, charming, and handsome scoundrel he is. This sky pirate is always dressed to the nines and possesses a glib tongue that can probably seduce just about anyone, should he put his mind to the task.
That is the thing with Balfour, though, isn't it? As well as him being like quite the attractive character, Balfour has this amazing voice, and it's his mannerisms and the fact that he is basically a freaking scoundrel, a pirate. Let's face it, we've all got a little bit of a thing in us for pirates, right? It's just very suave. He's the leading man.
Final Fantasy VII.
Wow. Your eyes.
There are two types of
This is how you separate the Final Fantasy VII fans, isn't it? I'm Team Aerith. I'm an Aerith simp. Big ol' Aerith simp right here. Not a fan of Tifa Lockhart. I like Aerith. I like Aerith very much. I'm going to be annoyed if Tifa is now on this list above her. Because to me, Aerith is ultimate Final Fantasy VII bae. But she's... Also, just... when you're talking about Aerith, don't put this in my face, please. It's just unneeded. It's unnecessary. Could we concentrate on her maybe being cute and sexy? Not concentrate on the fact that Sephiroth impaled her with a 6-foot freaking sword. It's just not needed. Do not talk about how great she is while showing me footage of her when she died. It's just... it's mean.
Thanks anyway.
Noctis Lucius Calum, Final Fantasy 15.
I do not give a shit what good points they have to say about Noctis Lucius Calum. Is not attractive at all. He is just a bog standard emo boy. They took a Sasuke from Naruto and put him into Final Fantasy. That's all Noctis is. He's got the personality of a wet flannel. Oh, just no. Nothing about Noctis appeals to me. It can go away.
Last pick. Here are a few honorable mentions. Barrett, Final Fantasy VII.
You know what? As an honorable mention, yeah. Barrett works. Barrett works. Come on. We're all a little bit curious about Barrett, aren't we?
For those who like 'em big.
Wouldn't be the first time I spit in Destiny's eye.
Lulu, Final Fantasy X.
You put Noctis on the list and you made Lulu an honorable mention. You disgust me, Watch Mojo. You disgust me.
Dark, mysterious, and sexy.
I shouldn't have to say this, but don't fall in love with her.
Kane Highwind, Final Fantasy IV. A brooding bad boy with a big spear.
You want a brooding bad boy with a big spear. You don't want Kane Highwind. You want my man Estinian, not Wormblood. I forgot what his name is, but it's not Wormblood. I found that out in Endwalker. Estinian is 10 times the sex on legs that Kane Highwind is.
It was an honor to fight alongside you.
Tifa Lockhart, Final Fantasy VII.
Honorable mention. Yeah, okay.
Final Fantasy heroes and heroines may come and go, but we are always here for Tifa Lockhart. Our number one pick predictably arrives once again from Final Fantasy VII and packs a punch, literally.
I thought Tifa was still an honorable mention. Tifa is number one. Tifa is number one. Tifa is number one. Tifa's number one. Tifa's number one. Tifa's number one. Right, Tifa's number one. Yeah, okay. Tifa's number one. Tifa is number one. Tifa is number one. She's number one. No, I don't agree. Majority of that list was Final Fantasy VII, and they didn't even get into like the characters that I think are more attractive in FF7. Where was Vincent? Vincent, whew, hell yeah. I'd put Vincent above Tifa Lockhart any day. Tifa Lockhart is not the sexiest FF character. No, not by a long far. I feel like I'm gonna have to make my own FF woman list. Whew. Or, you know, FF character list. I don't want to be accused of being a misogynist. But no, I did not rate the list. There are characters I agreed should be on a list like that, but for the most part, it was terrible. Like Noctis, Lucis, Calum. There was no 10 characters on the list. Yuna is like my ultimate Final Fantasy waifu. Where was Stola? Where was Grahatia? Had they even played 14? Right, well, that was me, Karl The Llama. If you enjoyed this kind of content, I'll be trying to put out a video in this kind of vein every Monday. Might be Final Fantasy themed, might be anime themed, might be completely random, who knows. But again, I thank you for joining us, and I will see you next time. I need a catchphrase. We're going to think of that. We're going to think good and hard about it. And while we're thinking good and hard about it, I'm a dance over there.